Hello, I'm Sean Hoddy and this is Lockdown Aikido 2.0. So back in March when we had our first lockdown, we were producing videos for our students and others to practice Tomiki Aikido. As the lockdown lifted, well, lockdown restrictions lifted and changed, in the summer we were practicing Aikido in the park, again socially distanced. In October this year we managed to get back into the dojo. We'd done that for a month until we had the second lockdown. Now we've had people who have followed us all the way through. They've been on our online classes, they have come to our outside classes in the park, and they've also attended our dojo. So to help those people along and encourage those people, we are going to hold a grading in January 2020, so that's Saturday, January the 30th, 2020. We're going to have to adapt the syllabus because we can't have any contact unless you're in a family bubble. So today we're going to look at some of the requirements that we're going to put in for the grading at various levels. Now this grading will be for juniors, youth, adult beginners, and we're going to go up to around about the third Q level. So we're going to start obviously with a rei, normal etiquette, then we're going to move into Unsoku, and I'll do this fairly slow so you can see what goes on. So Unsoku is foot movements, and we start our foot movements with the left foot. So from here we move forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Then we move to the left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Then we turn. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So on the turn, if we imagine we've got a cross in front of us, so we're going to each corner of the cross. So it's ich here, feet still shoulder width apart, nicely balanced. Ni, come back, and the other side. San, again nicely balanced. Shi, out to the corner. Go, rock, sich, hutch. So that is Unsoku. So that'll be a requirement for the grading. I will publish the syllabus as we move forward. So, next set of techniques are called Tandoku undo, which is hand and foot movements. So initial movement again, left hand, so we come above our head. It's ich, nice centre line. Ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, and we repeat. Ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So as we do these movements, the hand and feet work together. So as the hand lands in the position, the foot lands at the same time. Then we come back, and we go forward, on the other side. Back, forward. Yeah, so it's coordinating everything together. It's nice big movements, nice upright posture. Second movement, same theory. Hand and feet move together. So from here, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So big circles. Big circular movements. Third movement, we're moving forward. Ich, then we're coming back. Ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hutch, knee, knee, sun, she, go, rock, sit, hutch. So in this movement, note how the hand blade turns out. We're in the centre, we're coming down, and we're stretching out. And the hand blade is up. So palm of hand out, coming back, palm of hand facing up. And again, coordinating the hand and feet. Next movement, this is opposites. So it's the left hand, right foot. So as you step forward, come to your centre line, palm up. Turn your foot slightly in. And the reason that is, as you turn in, it's easier to hip turn. And we're coming back. And if you note, centre of the body all the way through, centre of the body as we come back. So, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hutch, ni, san, shi, go, look, sit, hutch. Last movement, again, we come up the centre line, so it's ich, come into centre, toeing in slightly, ni, back into centre line, san, shi, then we go out to the corner, so a bit more complicated this one, go out to this corner, leading with my right leg, so go, big movement, rock, sit, hutch. So once again, so from here, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hutch, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hutch. And again, when we finish, nice posture. So those techniques, practice, they're good for your central alignment. As stated all the time, when we move, we keep this centre line, so the hand is always in front of your centre. Whatever technique we do in Aikido, the hand is in front of the centre. Okay, so now we're going to practice using the sword. Now I haven't got a room to use the full-length bokken indoors, so I'm going to replicate my sword work with this soft dough. But we're looking at how we hold the sword. So, tip of the sword, Kisaki. Guard, Suba, handle, Ska. So when we hold the sword, the left hand just comes over the end of the Ska. The right hand holds nearer to Suba. We're not holding tight, we're not tensing our shoulders. Don't want to see fingers out because the Tsuba is there as a guard. So why would you poke your little finger out of the guard? So we often see this in Aikido. But can you imagine a sharp sword, poof, your finger's gone. You're going to drop your sword. So we hold this nice and relaxed. Hold it as though we're holding eggs. And when we finish the cut, the wrists, whatever position we go, need to be in a strong position, not overstretched. Start overstretching, you're going to strain your wrist. When we practice a Tachi Tachi Kata or Kumitachi, as they call it in Shotokan, the tip of the sword, Kisaki, needs to be at Chudan level. So you're aiming, if you're holding you're aiming sort of roughly this area. So we don't want to be down here, like so. So we're going to practice some exercises. So we're going to practice cutting. So when we cut, don't see this all the way back. So for this, inch. So we're cutting men height, yes? Then we come back, nip, which is do height. And again, if you look at my hands, I'm not overstretching, they are finishing, whatever height I'm cutting, they are finishing in this position. If you start doing that, you're going to be straining the wrist. Son, sheep, go, drop, cinch, punch, knee, son, sheep, go, drop, cinch, punch, inch, knee, son, sheep, go, drop, cinch, punch. Yeah, mate. So if we look from this angle, we're cutting head, inch. Then we're cutting go, knee, son, sheep, go, lock, cinch, punch. So remember, these are obviously a different length to a bokken. So when we're cutting to the head, you have to imagine you've got that much above you. So other exercises you can do just to warm yourselves up. This is just backwards and forwards. Ich, deep, son, cheek, go, look, cinch, punch, go, jerk, knee, son, sheep, go, look, cinch, punch, go, jerk, itch, knee, son, sheep, go, look, cinch, punch, go, jerk. Yeah, mate. So we do those just to warm the shoulders up, loosen up, and loosen those legs up. Okay, so we're going to practice the techniques from the Tachi or Kumitachi. So we must remember, when we block, we don't want to be taking the edge off our sword. We should be turning using the flat of the blade. This is why we hold the sword as though we're holding eggs and not tight and tense. If you're tight and tense, you can't work. That needs to be moved around. So when you block, you've got the flat of the blade. Okay, so first technique of the Tachi Kumitachi is called Ayuchi Men. So Ayuchi Men, they're coming down, they're going to cut straight to my head. I need to be a little bit quicker. So from here, so we cut into their head. And from there, they just sink slightly, and then we go back. So we do that from the front. So all this is we move forward as they cut, I come up, and I cut. So we cut into their head. Note the footwork, we're not like this. Heel slightly raised. So it's not classical Aikido posture, the heel is slightly raised. So the next technique is called Haidari Men. So Haidari Men, very similar to a Shomanati. We're moving round to the side. So if I come from the front, as they cut, I'm coming up, and I cut to there. So remember, this is longer, so this would be at head height. They're not here, there. You imagine they're a little bit further out. So from here, then we move back, come out. So we show that again. So as we come forward, we're here, a cut. They move round, come back together. Then we show it this side. So from here, as we come together, cut. Sorry. Cut. So we come off line. They move. Back we go. So that's called Hidari Men. So Hidari Men, here. Next one, Migi Men. So we go on the other side. The only difference is we start in right posture, so we're moving forward in right, then we're cutting into left. And we're balanced, we're not leaning. Please don't lean. You won't practice your normal Aikido leaning, because you're going to get thrown. And it's the same with this. If you're leaning, you're compromising your posture. So we want to be cutting. Nice posture. Upright, nice and strong. Change your feet. Move back into line. So once again, we're here. Coming forward, forward, forward. Cut. From there, change your feet. Back in line. We'll show it this way. So we're moving forward, they're coming in for the cut, come with line. Now what they do, they step out, face me, I then change my feet, we come back in line, and back we go. So, very important, as you're moving in, you can adjust your step with the left. It's not just step. If you look, as I'm moving, it's a small movement as I come through. Small step. So you may have to adjust your step depending on what your partner's doing. Next movement, ski. So with a ski, they're cutting as they come up to do the cut. What we do, we go forward. 1, 2. Turn onto the forearm if you want to. And then down we go. And we move out slowly while they get back in line, and then out we come. So again, there's different ways of doing this. You see people, I think the SAF tend to do it this way now. Again, we're not trying to change the way you practice. It's just giving you the structure of the techniques we're doing. In our dojo, because my teacher was Iaido and Jodo, as well as Aikido, we just keep it there. We're not overstretching those wrists, so we're not doing this. We're actually turning those wrists, and we move forward, turn, and back we go. So it's important that as you move forward, you're under control. You're not just thrusting into their throat. As you move, you learn to stop. And then we move. So you learn to stop as you get near their throat, not just ram it through them. So next technique is called Do. So Do, body. So the type of attack you get from them is a very long kendo style attack. And what we're doing, we're coming up from the centre and we're letting the kasaki, which is the tip, hit under the armpit to take the arterial system out. So it's not this. We often see people do this. Comes from above, there. Hands, strong. Same position. Yeah, not overstretching. So from there, cut. Taking the armpit, then moving past you as we move past, there, and we turn. We show it from this way. So what I'm doing, I'm going off at the angle. So from here, as a cut, I'm coming off at that angle. I've cut. My hands come to centre, not there. Centre, exactly the same as a downward cut. From here now, come through, turn. So let me show you what I mean. We're not doing this. Yep, my hands are centre. Kasaki coming under the armpit. Okay, next technique is Koti Nuki Koti. So Koti Nuki Koti, they are attacking my right wrist. Now to attack their wrist, I've got to come off line to attack. And if you look at this, because if you don't come off line, they're just going to stab you. So come off line, attack. This is what your partner's doing. You're coming off line, attacking. And you're cutting right the way through that wrist. So coming off line, going right the way through. An exercise you can do as they cut, just release the hand. So it makes them go right the way through rather than stopping. And just cut right the way through, relaxed. Not tensed up in the shoulders, nice and relaxed on the shoulders. Okay, so as they cut to here, they're moving round to cut that wrist. So what should be happening with the bokken should be the tip, the kazaki, and a little bit more coming through that wrist. So as they cut, there, come up, and I cut their wrist. So what I'm actually doing, I'm not trying to bat it away, I'm doing that. So my hips, as I turn, it makes my sword do that, come across. There. And what that actually does, as they're coming around to cut, it knocks their sword that way, so the balance goes slightly, and the timing goes. So very important, I'm not changing my legs. So as they cut, just sliding back like a tsukiyashi. Sword in the air, so it's not right back here because it leaves you open. Sword in the air, not here, not tense, nice and relaxed, cut. So I cut their wrist. So from here, as they're cutting, sword up, cut. So if I show you from this angle, so as they cut, I need to move up, cut their wrist. Because they'll be offline there, so they'll be offline here. Sword in the air, cut. Koti Nuki Koti. Next technique is called Kaishi Men. And Kaishi Men, what we're doing, I can't do the whole techniques because obviously the sword is too long, but what we're doing from here, they're cutting, they're doing a straight cut. So they do a straight cut, I'm moving out of this angle here, keeping my elbows in, and my, as I say, hold it like eggs. The grip of the sword is fairly loose. And what I'm doing here, because the grip of the sword is loose, it allows me to maintain the flat of the blade, because if that was tense, we'd get that. And you'd be taking a sharp edge off the blade. So we need the flat of the blade. That is actually deflecting their sword and we're coming round. So we've just gone over Keishi Men with the bokken. So now I'm going to look at it with a soft do. This allows us to create more movement. So as they attack, we move in and we cut. So we're in left posture. From here now, I change as I move round into position, and we come back. So note that the elbows are going in as I parry, and I'm moving in this position. So we're here, cut. So I've cut to their temple. Straight posture, don't want to be leaning. From here now, they turn and face me. As they turn and face, I change my posture and I move back into posture in line. So it's important that we hold, as I said before, it's important that we hold these quite loose. And as they cut, you can then loosen your grip. This allows you to step in. So what should happen as your foot lands, really your rear foot lands, this is when the end of the cut lands. So from here, cut, finish. And what we don't want to do is leave our legs here. We often see leaving the legs here, they're just going to cut through and cut that leg off. If you haven't parried it away. So what needs to happen is the legs come round. Out the way. Bang, you've got them. Okay, last technique is called Hasso Waki Gamai. There's lots of different techniques in this, but the Hasso Waki Gamai are the stance. So here and here. So the person doing this is hiding the length of their sword. With this, we often see this technique done like so, with a sword straight up. All you need to do, if you just tilt that sword back, you don't need to have the arms out, because you're in the optimum position to cut. Just slightly tilt back. If you want it there, if you look, the arms will naturally come up. I have to come up because my grip's wrong. So we get this. If we just get this here, elbows are in, not in like so, but in nice and relaxed. As they cut, I can cut down. Yeah, so from here, nice and relaxed. So if we do this, you're vulnerable. I know it's a trend within our system of Aikido, people are doing this, but people who understand sword work will have their elbows in. So there, yeah, so this position here. So in the Hasso Waki Gamai, we see it done like this. Just relax. If you need to, just turn your hips. You're looking at what they're doing, you're hiding the length of the sword. This then will come up above your head, ready for the cut. Do it with this one. And if we look, the cut comes above and it's slightly slicing over. It's not that. It comes up and it slices through that muscle. So, technique. So from here, we're in Chugan. Tip to tip, we're moving forward. 1, 2, and the last one, 3. So they go into the Waki Gamai. I go into the Hasso stance here. They're going to be attacking this leg. I'll just move forward slightly. They're going to be attacking this leg. So as they start the cut, I withdraw my leg and I block straight down. And from there, they're scooping under to stab me in the chest. So from here, I turn. I keep this pressure on, keeping the Kasaki facing my partner. I come forward slightly. Then they're going to come under and come to the other side of the chest. So I move, keeping the Kasaki facing them. Then from here they're going to come round and attack this temple. So I block, and I turn my hands, lock my hands out, and I'm blocking this part of the sword. It's the flat of the blade, not the blade. Then from here, as they come round, I haven't really got the height, I attack them. So let's do it with this. So Judan, moving forward. 1, 2, 3. So from here, they're going to attack this leg, block, move, block, cut. I'll just show it once more. So I'm moving forward. 1, 2, 3. There's a stance here, the Hasso stance. From here, as they come up to cut this leg, I step back, blocking. 1. They come round to the chest. 2. Kisaki still facing them. Around the other side. 3. Kisaki still facing them, so I'm menacing. From here now, they're going to cut that temple. Block. So from here, I attack them. So the other way around. So from here, I'm coming up, I'm attacking. 1. So the leg, come back a bit, and I'm scooping under. 2, 3, then I'm going to attack. 4. They're blocking, so where they are. 5, I cut, and they come round and cut me. So if you just imagine I'm coming above the head, cutting. So I cut down. 1, 2, coming round for the cut. They're blocked. Then I cut where they block, boom, and they come round and cut me. Okay, last part of our little session today. We're going to do the 6 count Joe Kata. And some of our juniors have got this off quite well. So initially, Joe here, left posture, this comes into the head, we attack, coming off line slightly. From here then, block. And we make sure it's horizontal, we don't want it there, horizontal. Then from here, my right hand slides up and I cut. So I'm cutting into them. Then I come forward, block. And then from here, turn, back over. Then we can repeat again. Do it slowly again. So this comes up, ich, ni, sa, shi, go, rock. So the important thing is, as we get to here, as this comes in, come off line, and we're blocking. My right hand now has to move to the middle, or moves up, slides up, my left hand comes into play, and I attack. So this is not like a traditional Joe attack, this is more like a sword attack, so my hands have come closer together. And from here I come up, block. So this is going right in front of the ankle. So I'm in a turn. And from here, turn this over, back into posture. Okay, I'll come over slightly. So, from here, come up. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're blocking there. 6, back into posture. Just show it this way. So from here, this comes up, offline, block, slide down, rotate, don't hit me lights, there, move forward, block, rotate, back into posture. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is here, comes up, slide up, cut, move forward. So we have to stretch to the end, block. Don't change the grip. From here, turn. So we're blocking there, then from here, back into line. Okay, that concludes my class today. As I say, with this grading moving forward, we're going to have to adapt, change things, and put things into place. My name's Sean Hoddy. This is Lockdown Aikido 2.0. Thank you very much.